I'm Botma Marx, a Lada enthusiast in South Africa. I bought my first Lada all the way back in 2006 when a friend and I wanted to travel to Mozambique and we needed a 4x4. So I searched the internet looking for a cheap 4x4 because I didn't want to borrow one, and eventually I found a weird looking 4x4 which I knew absolutely nothing about, called a Lada Niva. So we ended up traveling in a Lada Niva up the coast of Mozambique, 4x4ing many places which we would not have been able to reach was it not for the capabilities of a Lada Niva. From there we move on to a couple of years later when I got married, and that after I sold my first Lada, I told my wife I'm really missing my Lada. My wife encouraged me to buy another Lada. On that same Sunday afternoon, while we had dinner next to the Vaal River at a restaurant, I was browsing the internet, and that same afternoon I went to buy my second Lada. And soon I became part of the LOXA group, the Lada Owners Club of South Africa, and we attended annual gatherings and regional gatherings, testing our 4x4s to their limits. And in one particular event, I got introduced to a Facebook ad for this girl. So I contacted the seller of this Lada. At that stage she was just a body with a couple of spare parts, and I organized delivery with a big dream to rebuild this Lada to her former glory. And so there is where the journey started. So I restored her over 4 years on and off, and I redid virtually everything in this car, from the engine to the transfer case to the diffs, reupholstered, found seats, used other Ladas as donors, and in about 4 years she was complete as she is today. So in research on finding information about this Lada, I found out that this particular Lada was built by a British company, converted from a regular Lada to a cabriolet Lada, and they called this Lada the Lada Niva Safane. And I decided that her name will be Lada Niva Safane. Spare parts may seem to be difficult to source, but for these Ladas it's absolutely no issue. There is a lot of support for the Ladas in South Africa. We have regular group orders where we order each and every part that you can get for this Lada from Ukraine, from our friends there at Lada Power. The Lada Niva is an extremely capable 4x4 vehicle. It's a point and drive vehicle. You point it in a direction and you drive. Doesn't matter what is in your way. A very easy vehicle for any beginner to learn to do 4x4ing in.